Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7, and today we're going to talk about the Guilty Gear collab. Just an overall look at it, how to gear the units, who to pull for, all sorts of stuff like that. I was going to pull for it, I honestly was, and then I looked at my bookmark count and I was like, you know, I don't need any of these. It's going to cost me 605 or whatever, 625, I can't remember, to get what I want here, so I'm just not gonna do it. Instead, I'm gonna save for the new collab that's eventually coming, because I feel like that's one I'm gonna want to go ham on, right? And I want enough bookmarks to go ham. So this is the summon area here. We've got the three main characters, Baiken, Elfit, Dizzy. We also have the shop as well, and Miss Confi, Necron and Undyne, and Torn Sleeve. I want to talk about each of those characters, possibly how to gear them, whether or not you should summon for them. If you don't want to watch a whole video, long and the short of it, I would definitely not leave without Elfelt. I would definitely not leave without Dizzy. I would definitely not leave without Baiken, just because you never know when Baiken's going to be used. Miss Confi, I would definitely not leave with. Torn Sleeve, I would definitely not leave with either, but the other artifact, Dizzy's, if you really don't want to go for it, you can skip that one, IMO. But the other five things are pretty necessary for a lot of things, or potentially necessary for a lot of things. Like right now, Baiken, you don't need her for anything, but you never know with her skill set and what she can do. Nobody else really does that. So it's going to be one of those situations where, you know, you don't want to miss out. So let's just go over the units here. Let's look at Dizzy first, and we'll plus 11 only on my Dizzy. That's kind of embarrassing. I don't really use her much anymore. But as for Molagoras, you want to get -1 turn cooldown here. You also want to get -1 turn cooldown on Gamma Ray. And for the skill one, which you can't see because my head's in the way, you don't really need Molas here, but I personally like them because it ups her damage quite a bit. As for how to gear her, let's take a look at the equipment set. There's really two ways to do so. I think anyway. One of them is counter, one of them is speed. I personally like speed because my gear is set up more for it, but it really doesn't matter which one you do. So let me just do a really quick and dirty showcase of how I would gear her. Let's go speed hit just for funsy here. So you're definitely going to want speed on boots, and there's other ways to build them, but these are like the primary one. And you're looking for substats like effectiveness and HP. Like this would be great. Defensive stats, effectiveness, and HP, perfect. And then for the ring, you either want HP, defense percent, or effectiveness. Any are good there. Defense is the lowest of the three. So let's go with HP, because I personally really like my Dizzy really tanky. So we're gonna go HP main, and we want as much speed as possible. And if possible, we also want some effectiveness. So I don't have too many choices here, but that's okay. We'll toss this one on here. 16 speed. Effect resistance isn't too important, but the other stats are great. As for the neck, it's the exact same thing. HP main or defense percent, again, preferring HP. But you never know. Like if you have a really good defense percent one, you can toss it on. And then we want speed and effectiveness substats if possible. So let's just toss one on here. Let's just toss this one. We're not trying for perfection here, right? We're just showing you an idea. As for the chest, same. HP, speed, effectiveness are what we're kind of looking for here. So something like this would be perfect. You know, if you've got a 21 speed piece just lying around, that might be exactly what you need. Same with this one here. We'll just toss it on here. And now just to get two hit sets here, we want speed, effectiveness, HP, all sorts of stuff like that. We'll just toss this hit one on, and we'll just toss this hit one on here. So don't look at my stats and be like, I can't reach 246 speed. What's up, Mango? I can't do it. Doesn't really matter. Whatever area or level you're in the game will scale all your stats down or up depending. So just go for those main stats here. And the idea for me anyway is as tanky as possible, as fast as possible, with enough effectiveness as possible to land on targets. You don't even really need super high effectiveness on Dizzy because I don't think it's as important to land debuffs on high ER targets. It's more important to land it on the lower ER targets. As for her artifacts, you have two choices. Those two choices being Ayala Violin and Abyssal Crown, which I have on somebody else, but Abyssal Crown is what I personally would use. But if you're going for counter set, you can have her in the either one. You can have her for either one. It doesn't really matter. And for counter set, by the way, the stats are the exact same. You're just going to be slower and have that awesome counter attack. As for Baiken here, going to be kind of hard to show you Baiken, so I'm not really going to do that. Baiken is a really specific character, as in you don't really build Baiken for all around use. You generally build her for a specific situation. A really good example of this is a lot of people use Baiken for one-shotting Banshee, and for that you need like as much attack, crit damage, and crit rate as physically possible. And obviously you're gonna want to be critting on her with how much shenanigans and damage she does here. But the general idea for her is lots of offensive stats and lots of speed, and if possible effectiveness, but it's not as important. Again, I don't want to give you exact builds for Baiken just because it is so different depending on where you're using her. As for artifacts, a lot of people like using RNL on her because she already gets an extra turn baked into her kit, so she can just go actually bonkersly ham. But again, if you're using her for Banshee, you might want Joker or something like that as well. So as for the third, and this one I'm going to struggle with as well because this one I'm not familiar with right now because obviously she just got changed. What is she? There she is. Okay, I was like looking for something else. So oh, Molagora. I should go for Molagora on Baiken since that is really important. The other thing with Baiken is she is very Mola intensive, especially if you're doing one shots. You have your skill 1 here. You want at least +4. I know you can't see it, but you can kind of see it. As for her skill 2, you want at least +4, and this is for the 15% effect chance on both things. And for Gario Tensei, you want at least +4 again. But again, if you're doing one shots, you probably want this +5, and you probably want Sarane Sansu Watashi +5 as well. And the higher gear level, the less skill ups you need. So important to know. And as for Elphelt here, she just got changed. I haven't experimented with her yet, but odds are you're probably going to want her really fast. Probably quite a bit of damage. I honestly don't know what to say for her, but you want to pull for her anyway because she seems pretty nutso. In the coming days, I'll probably have a showcase of her and we'll figure this out together. As for skill ups, I don't think her skill 1 effect chance is too important, but I would probably do it because going +3 in a skill is only 3 Molagora. It's definitely worth it. As for Judge Better Half, again, that's just a damage. You don't actually need Molagora here. It's not important. Especially since I believe this changed from when it kills to when they're asleep, right? So you don't need it anymore. And as for this one here, you definitely want -1 turn cooldown, and you definitely want effect chance as well. Don't go without that one like I am here, because that would be dumb. As for the artifacts, not sure yet. I would assume, I actually don't know. Maybe go with Confi to make her skill 1 a lot better. Probably just go with the stealth artifact though. And as for the 3 artifacts we have, let's take a look at Torn Sleeve. So this one specifically is really good for Wyvern. If you're having trouble debuffing Wyvern, you want to use Torn Sleeve on something like a Karen, and this allows her to just inflict so many bleeds, it's ridiculous. This is a lifesaver for Wyvern runs. You definitely want to pick up at least one of these, and of course the higher the better, but it's not too important to get it too high. As for Miss Confi, probably like my favorite artifact right now, just because 1, I love the art, 2, I love the art, 3, I love the art, but more importantly, 4, she can defense break 57% chance of the time, and this is actually why I was going to summon a little bit more so I can max it. Right now mine's at 27, but instead I'm just going to buy a dupe in the shop and max it that way. Ridiculously amazing artifact. This will enable so many things for so many characters in so many areas of the game. It's a PvE thing, like you can use Cerise in a lot of the expeditions, for example, and she can be your defense break because she goes so fast. She can get that defense break in. You can use it for PvP as well, which is what I use it for. It's just insane, and you can actually see the usage statistics. I've never clicked on that, but you can see mostly used on Elphelt right now, but also Cerise, also SSB. Amazing artifact. Do not leave home without it. And then there is the third one, which is Necro and Undine. Undine, I'm not sure. Either way, this is not an artifact I'm particularly excited about, but it's really good. It's a really, really, really good artifact. But the thing is, mages, you have to fight through the slot of Tagael's Tome. You have to fight through the slot of Ayla Violin, and you also have to fight through the slot of Abyssal Crown and Sira Ran, and so many insane mage artifacts, which is why this one doesn't shine as much. But I do really like this artifact. I think it has potential, and I think eventually we'll find a character that will want to use this over the others. And the other thing is too, not everybody can equip your main artifacts, right? Like I have one Abyssal Crown. Not everybody can equip Abyssal Crown. So you never know. Something like this might come in handy for somebody for PvP or something like that, right? So I wouldn't mind picking that up, but it's not something I would go ham for. Okay, so that was the overview of all the people. I'm not going to go over Saul since I believe he's semi-free. I'm not sure what they did with the thing now, but I haven't tried him out with his new buffs anyway. Long story short, get Elphelt, get Dizzy, get Baiken. Let's actually do it in order. Let's do this in order that I think is the priority. Number 1, get Dizzy. Number 2, get Miss Confit. Number 3, get Elphelt. Number 4, get Torn Sleeve. Number 5... Did I go to 5 but only count to 4? Number 5, get Baiken. Number 6, get Necro and Undine. That is my ordering, and arguable which way you go. And of course, you can pick this too. This is a fantastic thing to summon for. Definitely recommend it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody!